Well, it looks like Jean Mensah and the EC are still adamant. Na say still omugina wamo asem so a wamo kan say election no. Omo mbesi yebeto no 7th December. Say I brought you that story and I brought you how they arrived at that conclusion now. Enrechi mihu write up by Bright Simmons no so oye juma wo oye vice president of Imani Africa. Na uchi nsemu a wokan wono so tremu a no ono ne de no mekan later, but I'll bring you what he wrote later and then we will discuss it. But John Dramani Mahama for the very first time has come out to talk on about who we are yesi date no. Now according to Mahama de dabi on penny NDC penny and the ochinaka ho any kwanzo Moses date bia. Listen, there are some things I'll talk about some things too. And those things, there are some way when it comes to, I don't know whether Muamutiemi, if you know of something called numerology, but I'll touch on that. What we read on numerology, no? You see, some people believe that this world runs on energies, and the energies, no? They believe that numbers are the universal language of the world, and this world runs on numbers. Okay, I know a little about. I've read. In fact, it's not a little. I've read a lot about numerology and all those things. I'll speak on it in regard to Saadiewe. Okay, and then you sort of get the point why. I mean, I don't know whether NDC for Munim Internomoka some opinions then, but why the change of date is even bad for the NDC. Don't worry. Balenko.
NDC do not find the proposal for a change in date for elections from December to November as feasible nor helpful and will not be supporting same, as we do not believe that this is being proposed in good faith.
So that is John Dramani Mahama, right?
I know that the minority leader has clearly articulated this position of non-support of the constitutional changes required to enable this to happen. We also wish to caution the Electoral Commission that if it still hankers after also disenfranchising sections of our population at all costs through a misguided insistence on the use of only Ghana cards as the only means of identification for registration, then it had better abandon that idea, because we in the NDC will offer it the stiffest resistance. The Ghana card is a relatively new feature of our national life and has its merits in the scheme of things. At the moment, it is being brandished more as a political tool around which all manner of schemes are being fashioned towards elections. There is a need to allow sufficient time for its full integration into our way of life before this kind of unhelpful exclusion of all other legitimately acquired, credible and time-tested forms of identification are implemented. The National Identification Authority cannot claim to have covered every Ghanaian who should be registered or distributed all the cards printed to those who have been captured in their system. They failed to distribute hundreds of thousands of cards to people who have legitimately registered.
Ex-President John Dramani Mahama is speaking about two things, right? One, date, no? And then second, the use of the Ghana card. Okay. I want us to listen to him again because he made some points, very salient points there.
NDC do not find the proposal for a change in date for elections from December to November as feasible nor helpful and will not be supporting same, as we do not believe that this is being proposed in good faith.
It was say NDC for Peneso say Yensa date no, because NDC for AGD say Jean Mensah date now what this is and then ya join pa and all this is Yentuaso.
I know that the minority leader has clearly articulated this position of non-support of the constitutional changes required to enable this to happen. We also wish to caution the Electoral Commission that if it still hankers after also disenfranchising sections of our population at all costs through a misguided insistence on the use of only Ghana cards as the only means of identification for registration, then it had better abandon that idea, because we in the MDC will offer it the stiffest resistance.
Inti Osanso ma Jean Mensah warning. Say why na just say still Ghana card ne pen no see ye beto aba NDC form pene. Omodi omo ho ndi ni na. Now, I'm going to enter into territories where I'm coming to say some things, and I know a lot of people might not understand what I'm saying. So one tiasia enye just move on. Now, let's go. So battle we are here between. Aside the physicality side, it is very spiritual as well. It is extremely spiritual. And let me talk about that side. The spirituality side I'm going to talk about the numerology aspect of it all. Mama Wati say numbers the universal language of the universe. Some people believe that for anything to happen, in fact, some people even believe that for things to be successful or for things to be a failure, it depends on the numbers backing it. Okay, if you read a lot about numerology, Senyamakano, you understand. Now, the former president, John Dramani Mahama, is a life path 9. But saying some Americano, some of the things I might not be able to explain, but if you've read about numerology, you understand what I'm saying. Now, life path, every single individual came with an energy. Nyankopon ebo wiase no, onipa bia no, obia edi bibi ba wiase, ye na ye nim sa ade no. Now, ye ka say life path o calculate life path life path day na ye wo no, o birthday day na ye wo no. Nyankopon di bibi dua wo mu. If you are able to calculate your life path and you are able to check on your strength and your weaknesses, obehu ne say ene nefa. People who or life path no calculate life path ebia ye wo 1st February 1993. Obe calculate first no 1 plus February 2nd month, right, plus 2. 1993 no be calculate ni na plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 3. Udi ni na be boom. Udi boom na onya number bia obe breaking it down to 1. That is your life path. Wa wutie me no o calculate na ko check sa de na obe hu ne say eye wa brabo pepepe. It works. Ade we are making me say I've read a lot about numerology and I know all these things. It works. Inti osha people like Okujato Ablakwa and Sam George. Unze omu ye nkrofobia beka say omu ye leaders. Okujato Ablakwa is a life path number 1. Sam George is also a life path number 1. Obia wo life path number 1 bia na trese Nyankopon de dua omu say you are a natural leader. Inti wo hu ne say Okujato Ablakwa ne Sam George omu leadi no omu leading nkrofo no omu de omu we ya Nyankopon e de amu because that is their life path. That being said, now John Dramani Mahama is a life path number 9. As we are making, me see a lot of people this will be the first time you are hearing something like this. But if you check, Ubehune say John Dramani Mahama is a life path number 9. Baumia is also a life path number 9. Now, life path number 9 though, normally they are seen as humanitarians. Omo ye humanitarians. Life path number 9. Omo ye humanitarians, right? Day na year to aba ewo Ghana 7 December no. Okay. O calculate a new date na and also AC ewo number 9 so. If you calculate it, you actually get 18. But so Mama Wati and if you are calculating the life path, you break it down to 1. Into 18, 1 plus 8. Obenya 9. It's also a 9. Me see idea we are making. If you've not read about numerology, you don't know anything about numbers and the science behind numbers, you don't understand the thing I'm saying. Inti 2 people who are standing for the elections, they are all life path number 9s, and the day we are voting is number 9. But you see, Mahama has an advantage because they na year to about Saturday, no. And also your Mahama day. Inti ye can Mahama ewa advantage kra esing baumia because Bawumia wasn't born on a Saturday, right? Mahama, a Saturday. Aside Bawumia being a life part 9, we are voting on a life part 9. Mahama also being a life part 9. Mahama being a life part 9. Normal settle. But Mahama is getting an advantage because he was born on Saturday and we are voting on his day. So, in numerology sense, the science behind numerology, okay, people who understand numbers will tell you that Mahama has upper hand. Spiritual side, Mahama has upper hand. The energies of the universe backing Mahama abatuono. And so that is why some people embra omoba beka say omo person mo sisan date ayede to abano. Some people said that no. These people know things. Because listen, there are some people in Pennyforward. Do you think they don't know all of these things? It's almost dating and Crawford. These people, they know some they know say the universe is backing Mahama. The energies of the universe are backing Mahama. Say Mahama be winning. Until almost dating so that Mahama will fall short. Bright Simmons betro asembi. Osi on TRC say SDA for sorry wo babeka say eni kwan say Mahama and eni kwan say yeto aba sorry SDA for say eni kwan say yeto aba Saturday no osi won TRC because wo hwe date na afi SDA for no propose ya omo de akwa akwohye Tuesday so now SDA for tre say Saturday no your sacred day until anka maye nto aba omo de akwa akwohye Tuesday omo de akwa akwohye day foforo day foforo na SDA for ni propose no eye bi mo so sacred day it is angrofo ni so ba abonte be ka se da bi enso ye sacred day me nto aba ene ye se Ghana na nka bato no ye nto ni biom nti tie Bright Simmons ono nso ne argument awode ba eto asum because na man say de akwa akwohye Wednesday na me amiti he me nso me kuo Wednesday ye sacred day nti se wetie SDA for na me de no be ka se huntie mi ana today ende nti ende no maybe so if you've not heard anything like that, maybe we need kakra on the numerology energies, the number of energies behind Sabatui. Me say you can check it. Everything I've said, you can check it and see. Montre mo adweme dase.